Is the Admirable Crichton my favorite movie of all time? No, but it does have many admirable qualities, not the least of which is a fine poke in the eye at the British class system. This satire is rendered in almost fairy tale fashion, which is hardly surprising considering it was based on a play by J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan. Naturally, my daughters loved it. The year is 1905. The place is London, England, where William Crichton is the head butler to the Earl of Loam and his family. Crichton is from a long line of family members who have spent their lives in service. He's comfortable, even proud of his position in the British class system. What's more, those in service have their own class system, and to the other servants in the house, Crichton is their lord and master. But his lord and master, the Earl of Loam, fancies himself a progressive, believing that all men are created equal. This leads to a disastrous tea party where the servants are invited as the guests, and no one knows how to act under the circumstances. A little later, one of the Earl's daughters is arrested at a suffragette protest. My daughters love that as well. After that, Crichton suggests that the family take a sea voyage until the scandal dies down. While sailing the South Seas in the family yacht, they are caught in a storm and are shipwrecked on a deserted tropical island. The Earl and his daughters, the ladies Mary, Catherine, and Agatha, are in complete denial about their new reality, and they expect Crichton to carry on with his duties as before. Two other men are also shipwrecked with the family, and of course, they're completely useless. One of them is a clergyman named John, and I suspect he was aboard the family yacht for propriety's sake. The other is a young toff named Woolley, who is the son of Lady Brockhurst, don't you know. When Crichton, in an effort to make them face their new reality, refuses to perform his duties as before, they cast him out, and Eliza the maid goes with him. Crichton wastes little time in retrieving what supplies he can from the half-submerged ship before it sinks altogether, and it soon becomes apparent that he's the only one there who knows how to do anything. And so, as the years pass, the roles are slowly reversed, and Crichton is now affectionately known as the Gov, as in the governor, and everyone is happy. Along the way, we're treated to some of the innovations that Crichton has brought about to make all of their lives easier, including some pre-Gilligan's Island gimmicks like seashell razors and coconut cocktail shakers. In America, the film was known as Paradise Lagoon, and the posters played up the more romantic aspects of being marooned on a deserted tropical island. And that too is integral to the story. Sally Ann Howells, who plays the Earl of Loam's eldest daughter, is transformed from a haughty, self-possessed snob into a free-spirited Amazonian huntress. And of course, she falls in love with Crichton. Diane Salento plays Eliza. She's what is known as a tweenie, as in an in-between maid, as in between floors or stations in life, something English like that. And while she's only semi-literate, she's possessed of an earthy sensuality and a fair dollop of common sense. Naturally, all the men are nuts about her, including the Earl himself. Everyone, that is, except Crichton. So naturally, she falls in love with Crichton, and there's more than a hint of Pygmalion in their relationship, in a backstairs kind of way. And, as all fanboys know, Diane Salento would later become Sean Connery's first wife. The Bond connection continues with director Lewis Gilbert, who years later would direct three of the more elaborate Bond epics. I have to mention these Bond tidbits, otherwise the fanboys would assume that I didn't know. Yeah, right. Veteran British character actor Cecil Parker plays the Earl of Loam, and his abstract ditherings, Cecil Parker staple, makes one easily believe he was to the manner born. Kenneth More is perfectly cast as Crichton. As usual with this popular British actor, he plays it square-rigged and Bristol fashion. American audiences probably remember him best for A Night to Remember. As always, More is a steadfast presence, and his reign as the Gov is a benign one. But on the day that he and Lady Mary are to be married, they are rescued by a passing British ship. Safely back home in England, they revert to their former roles in life, but it's an awkward and an embarrassing fit, especially when young Woolley writes a novel about their adventures, casting himself in the role of savior and hero. Crichton soon realizes that the situation has become untenable, and saving the family further embarrassment, resigns from service. But all is not lost, as it turns out that Crichton has squirreled away a cache of pearls that he found on the island and plans to set himself up in business. He also intends to take Eliza with him, and they will soon be wed. So, all's well that ends well. Let's put it in American boomer terms. The butler knows best. See you around the campus.